guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a great day. So today's video is really fun because it is all about health and wellness, and I'm giving you easy tips and things I'm implementing to be my healthiest self in 2020, as well as throughout the end of this pregnancy. Today's video is sponsored by Amazon, so thank you to them for working with me on this. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you 10 super easy tips to get healthy physically and mentally for the new year. These are things you can implement right now. They're things that I've been really focused on doing every single day to make sure I'm not putting too much effort in, or I'm not overthinking it, and just things that I can start working into my daily lifestyle. I kind of fell off the bandwagon, or fell off the wagon a little bit around the holidays. We were traveling a lot, I was eating a lot of fast food, I was being really stagnant, and so entering 2020, I'm really focused on getting my mind right, getting my body right, and being as healthy as possible, especially as I end this pregnancy. I'm in the 3rd trimester now, and I want to be in the best shape possible as I approach labor down the road. If you're new to my channel, I just want to say welcome. My name's Olivia. I'm in my 3rd trimester, like I mentioned, with my 2nd baby, and I love to do videos on things like this: lifestyle tips, health and wellness, fashion, style, pregnancy, motherhood, kind of you name it. So without further ado, let's get into the 10 tips. So tip number 1 is to carry snacks on me. You'll see back here I have an array of snacks, and things like this really allow me to make sure that I'm not getting overly hungry while I'm on the go. I notice that when I forget to keep snacks in my diaper bag, or I forget to keep snacks in whatever bag I'm carrying at the moment, I get hangry, and Christian gets hangry. So I have a toddler, and between a toddler and then a pregnant woman, we need to keep some food on us. Like, it's just bad news if we don't. So Amazon is a great place to get yourself stocked up on snacks like this because you can prime them, you can get them to yourself really easily. I love to grab bars like this, and Christian actually really enjoys having snack bars like this too. We've gotten him hooked on like Nutri-Grain bars and granola bars, and he's really great at actually holding them and eating them. So it's a good toddler snack, but it's also good for me to keep a little like Kashi protein bar or something like this with me as we're on the go to make sure I'm not getting overly hungry. What happens if I get hangry while we're out, or if I wait too long to eat, is I end up overeating, and I end up eating really bad foods. So pizza, pasta, those are kind of my vices this pregnancy. I've been addicted to fettuccine alfredo and pizza, and I tend to eat too much of those things when I'm not eating healthy foods throughout the day. So I want to make sure I'm stocking my diaper bag with snacks for both of us. That way we're getting the protein we need, we're staying full, and we're not overeating, and we're not eating unhealthy things later in the day. So along those lines, I'm excited to tell you about an upcoming event that the Amazon store in Glendale will be hosting. You guys are not going to want to miss this. So on Friday, January 31st from 1 to 5 p.m., the Amazon 4-star store in the Americana at Brand in Glendale will be hosting an event to help you achieve your resolutions for 2020 and make sure that you're really keeping the intentions that you've set for yourself. So this is a health-focused event. They're going to have free samples of snacks like this from companies like Kashi, Nature's Bounty, vitamins from Smarty Pants, full-size free samples, so you can get your hands on some of that and stock your diaper bag or your purse with some of those must-have snacks that I've been talking about. They're also going to have giveaways, as well as a 2020 mantra gift generator, so that you can really keep your intentions and have a lot of fun while doing so. I think that sounds amazing. So like I mentioned, it's in Glendale, which is in the LA area. It's about an hour outside of LA. If you are one of my fellow SoCal people, make sure you check that out. It's a totally free event. Like I said, some really amazing brands and full-size products to take home and try, as well as those giveaways too. I'll have all of the information for the event in the description box, as well as links to these products that I have here if you want to check them out. But like I mentioned, the event is totally free to the public, and we'll have so many fun opportunities to just get really health focused and really inspired for the new year too. All right, so aside from keeping snacks with me, number 2 on the list is that I'm really trying to get better about planning out meals in advance. I am somebody who I tend to go grocery shopping every single day or every other day. We tend to not think about what we want to eat in advance, and then like hunger strikes, or then we plan out a meal day of, and then we're at the grocery store all the time. If you're buying healthy foods, it's not the worst thing in the world, but what ends up happening is that I'm not thinking ahead, and I'm not being intentional about the meals I'm planning, or the meals I'm eating, or what I'm putting into my body. So I'm trying to get better about planning out my meals and I'm starting small. Because I'm somebody who struggles with this, I don't want to go into it and then meal plan or meal prep for 7 days and then I burn out and then I'm not fully into it. So I've set the goal for myself that every weekend we'll plan out 3 dinners for that following week, go to the grocery store, buy those ingredients, and have it on deck for our home. It's a way to start small so that I'm setting myself up for success. We did it this week and we've already had a couple of the meals and it feels really good to, one, it feels like you're achieving that goal because we're actually eating the food that we bought for ourselves instead of letting it go bad and throw it out. But 2, I'm eating healthy foods because I've thought about it in advance and I'm not just getting like oven pizza or take out pasta to eat that evening. And then 3, like I mentioned, they are really healthy foods. So I'm being intentional about what I'm putting in my body and I'm making sure I'm fueling this pregnancy in the best way possible. So plan out your meals in advance. Don't set yourself up to have to be like this fitness meal prep person. If that's not your jive, if that's not your lifestyle, that's okay. Just start small, think ahead, and try and be intentional about what you're going to eat in the week ahead. Another good bonus of doing that and planning ahead or just planning your meals a little bit in advance is that it takes the stress and like the overthinking out of it. So for me, I've been really overwhelmed lately. We have a lot of moving parts right now in our lives. So it's helpful to just have one less thing to have to worry about. When Jordan gets home from work, if we don't have to have the discussion of what do you want to do for dinner, if we don't have to talk about that and we already know what we're doing for dinner that night, it is so much easier on both of us. So number 3 is a way to stay physically healthy, and that is just to take the stairs. Super easy. Like sometimes it's easier said than done. For example, the other day I went to my glucose test and I had the elevator right there and then I had the stairs right next to it and I was so tired. I waited for the elevator and the elevator was so slow. It took so long. I didn't want to walk up 4 flights of stairs because the office was on the 4th floor. So I ended up taking the elevator. And when I left, I thought about it and I thought to myself, 1, I could have gotten up there quicker if I would have just taken the stairs because I waited a long time for the elevator. And 2, that would have been a really easy, like small workout in my day, a way to stay active beyond the walks and the things like that that I'm doing regularly. It's just one more way to get your body moving and to not be so stagnant. So then when I went to my doctor's appointment a few days later, that one was only on the 2nd floor, granted, but instead of taking the elevator like I normally do, I took the stairs. I got up there in like 2 minutes. It was super easy. I was a little out of breath when I got there, but I felt more accomplished. I felt like I was better setting myself up and I felt like I was more achieving those goals and getting my body moving too. Stairs are a super easy thing to incorporate into your everyday life, and it's just that one split-second decision to be a little healthier than you would otherwise. Similarly, number 4 is to stretch in the shower. I realized after giving birth once that it's actually it's a workout to give birth to a human being, obviously, but it also requires you to be pretty flexible. Like you pull your legs really far up, farther than you think you would even be capable of doing. And you have to do that for a long time. I pushed for 2 hours with Christian, like actively pushed with my legs up. And I remember afterwards, my legs just were so sore and I was like trembling. And this time I want to at least be as flexible as possible and as limber as possible going into that. So I've really been trying to make an effort to stretch more, whether that's on the floor of my living room or on the couch, but the shower is a great place to stretch your legs because the hot water kind of loosens up your muscles. It's also oftentimes the only few minutes I get to myself, away from a toddler and away from my husband or work or whatever. Like it's just the quiet time I need to really practice breathing exercises, stretch my legs, feel the hot water. It's super relaxing and it's helping my body stay limber and stay in shape too as I prep for that. So definitely would recommend doing the same for you too. Number 5 is something that I actually started doing without realizing I was doing it, and then I realized it's a great practice, and that's to make a to-do list every single day. So when I'm feeling really overwhelmed, if I feel like I have a lot to do and I can't keep track of everything and I don't want to forget to get something done, I make a to-do list. I don't do anything fancy. I use the notes section in my phone, similar to how right now I have all the notes for this video written in my phone. It just keeps me really organized. There are also different websites you could use. There are also a pen and a paper is a great way to do that so that you can actually check it off, whatever works for you. But a to-do list will help you make sure that you're staying on task, that you're completing everything. I also love that gratifying feeling of checking something off the list when you've accomplished it. Like, it just feels so good to check that off the list and not have to worry about it. And like I mentioned, I typically would do this like on weekends or days when it felt like I had a lot going on. Lately though, every single day, whether it's a busy day or not, every day I've been making a to-do list, and this has helped me so much because it just helps my head feel really clear. It also helps me see that I'm actually being much more productive than maybe I'm giving myself credit for. And some days I may only have 2 or 3 things on the list, and some days I may have 12 or 13 things on the list. And some days, most days, I may not finish everything on the list if it's that long too. And then it's okay because I can see the 2 things I didn't get to that day, I can move them to the next day and cross them off the following day. It also really helps me prioritize my day. So I've talked before about this quote that I read that I kind of live by, and it's that, you know, it's not that we don't have time for something, or if you change your phrasing from I don't have time to do this to this is not a priority to me, it helps you see that you actually do have time to accomplish the things you're setting out for. It's just that when you don't prioritize things, then you end up feeling like you don't have time to accomplish them when actually you just didn't make it a priority that day. So by having a to-do list, I'm able to see, okay, this is everything I need to get done. Here's my priorities. These are the things I have to get done today. These are the things that if I don't get them done, they can wait till tomorrow. And at the end of the day, when I see the 2 remaining things I didn't get to, it makes sense to me and it feels okay because those just weren't a priority in comparison to everything else on the list. So make a to-do list every single day, and on the days you only have 2 or 3 things on them, it feels amazing too, and then you got everything done on your list. So number 6, going back to what we're putting into our bodies, I've been really focused on the vitamins I'm taking lately. I've talked to you guys before about how prenatal vitamins are obviously a big part of my routine right now, but I also want to be really focused on making sure I'm picking out the best prenatal vitamins and the ones that are going to give me the most vitamins and minerals and the most bang for my buck. So don't go into the store and buy whatever's most affordable or buy whatever has the prettiest bottle. You really want to be mindful of what's included in each vitamin. So recently I ran out of prenatals. I went to the store and they didn't have the brand I usually use, so I grabbed whatever they had on the shelf and I took those for a few days, and then when I finally got in the brand I typically use, I compared the ingredients. I looked at the nutrition facts on the back of the bottles, and it turns out the bottle that I bought when I was in a rush, when I just was in a pinch and needed something, some of the minerals and vitamins in there actually had 50%, half the amount that the other brand I typically use had. And so that was really eye-opening for me because taking a vitamin at all is obviously better than not. But for me, if it's something I'm doing every single day and it's fueling myself and a tiny human inside of me, I want to make sure it has as much like health, wealth, and physical benefit to it as possible. So definitely as you're taking vitamins, whether it's prenatals or whether it's hair, skin, and nail pills or just a women's multivitamin, look at the nutrition facts on the back and make sure that you're getting as much as possible or as whatever works for your body. Maybe it has a bunch of one vitamin, but it's not actually what you need and you're deficient in something else that it only has 25% of in that vitamin. And then it's not going to benefit you as much as something else would. So be really mindful and really specific when picking out the vitamins you're taking every day. Then number 7 is a reusable water bottle. You guys have heard me talk about reusable water bottles several times on this channel. This is not a surprise. You're probably sick of hearing me talk about them, but this point for number 7 is to have some variety. So I'm somebody that I tend to get bored, and I notice when if I drink a water bottle too much, or if I start to feel like I'm not getting enough water from it, then I need something else, or then I feel like I'm not drinking as much water as I would if I had this other kind of water bottle. It's just one of those weird things. I don't know if everybody's like that, but I wanted to show these examples because these are 2 water bottles I absolutely love. They're both reusable. They keep my water cold, but you'll notice they're very different. This one is more of a mug. I use it with a reusable straw. This one already has the reusable straw built into it. I use both of these interchangeably. I use them both equally. It just depends on my mood for the day, but having both of them makes sure that either way I'm getting a ton of water, because if I use this one for say 3 days and then all of a sudden I'm like, hey, I'm sick of having the straw, I need something that I can tilt my head back, I need something that holds more, then I can switch to this one or I can switch to another one. But the variety really helps me. It really sets me up for success. So aside from using a reusable water bottle that you can refill with water all all day and that holds a large amount, 30+ ounces in one bottle, but also have a variety and make sure that you have a couple different ones you can choose from too. Then number 8 is to get up 30 minutes earlier or prioritize your 30 minutes in the day differently. So for example, I felt like I didn't have time to work out or to be productive or to edit videos or to get work done or to clean or whatever it might have been. All of those things that I always told myself, oh, I would do that if I had time. And then I realized I was spending 45 minutes every morning just drinking my coffee and watching the news. And I think that time is really important too, and I'll talk about that in a second. But because that time's important for me and that time is a priority for me, I need to get up 30 minutes earlier to make sure that I still have time to do the other things that I'm claiming I don't have time to do. So start small. Don't feel like you have to get up at 4 a.m. if you're somebody that typically sleeps till 6 or 7, but get up 30 minutes earlier than is your comfort zone and have that start to be your new normal. After doing it a little bit, it will become normal to you and you'll be amazed how much extra time you feel like you have in your day and how much you're actually able to accomplish. Then number 9, like I mentioned, quiet time. I love to have time in the morning for self-reflection, intentions, saying positive things, setting myself up for the day, thinking about what do I need to do today? What are my goals? I'm really big on manifesting, so I want to think about what am I creating for myself? What am I focusing on this year? Envisioning a new house for us or envisioning new career goals or things for my channel. But quiet, intentional time allows you to do that. Whether that is having that time in the morning over your coffee or just thinking to yourself on your drive to work. Actually, when I'm driving is some of the times that some of my best thinking is done, I feel like. Not that I'm not present when I'm driving, but just, again, sometimes it's the only time I'm by myself, or it's the only time where I have a actual physical space around me that I'm confined in. So find that quiet time wherever it is in your day and just use it as a time to be really thoughtful with yourself and do that reflecting that maybe you don't have time to do throughout the rest of your day. And then number 10, probably most important, is practice gratitude. On days I feel super overwhelmed and I'm feeling really burned out and really down, I tell myself, stop, pause, and think about what I'm thankful for. What do I have now that I am so beyond grateful for? And I practice gratitude even in the hardest moments. Usually that's the time when I need it the most. So practice gratitude in 2020. Be thankful for the every little day moment, the every little day chaos, even when it's hard. It really makes you have such a positive perspective on how you're approaching life. It makes you thankful for the world around you, even when it is chaotic, and it helps you not feel so overwhelmed and potentially drowning in things that are otherwise unhealthy. So practice gratitude and say thank you for what you've got. All right, guys, so that's everything for today's 10 tips to be healthy in 2020. Let's get this. Let's achieve our goals. I have big goals for the year that I'm excited for you guys to see come to life. Be sure to check out the Amazon event and all the information for them in the description box down below. And thank you again to them for sponsoring today's video. And I will see you guys in my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.